All right, y'all, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you guys how to change the rear axle seals, which are located back here on the rear tires. Reason why I'm going to swap mine out is because I got a leak. I'll show you how it looks on my driveway. You come up to your driveway and you see a stain like this with the imprint of your tires. You're going to have either brake fluid leak or rear diff leak, and in my case it's rear differential fluid. As you can see, the tire looks a little wet right there, above there as well, just a couple times that I've been moving it. And you'll notice down here as well, if you run your finger through here. So if you got something like this, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how you can troubleshoot it and fix it yourself. I'll do the best that I can, guys. I'm a one-man team, but for starters, go ahead and place your truck on a level surface. I got mine in the garage. Go ahead and chalk the front two tires. I got mine chalked. And to make it a little bit easier for me, I went ahead and jacked up both sides and put them on jack stands. The reason being is because we're probably gonna have to rotate this tire like this, shift it a little bit, because we're gonna have to disengage or take off one of the bolts in here to slide out the axle, that little piece of the axle here and out. So that's why I have it jacked up like this. Once you're up to here, let's move on to the next step and take off that tire. Pop off this cap. Now from here, this should be able to slide off. You see, by hand. Just kind of have to wiggle it with two hands, right? Wiggle it back and forth. I'm gonna try and do that off camera. But if it doesn't wiggle back and forth, what you can do is install like a bolt here and drill it in so it can push this out, right? Drill two right there. But let me put you down, try to take it off my hand. Like I said, just wiggle this back and forth. Houston, we got a problem. But that's the inside of my brakes. Leaky fluid, right? Nasty shit. So once you're here, normally what leaks, if it's a brake fluid leak, it's gonna be this this brake booster, I think it's what it's called. Or, sorry, I'll put the name of this and where you can find it as well here in the screen. But if you wanna troubleshoot this, you can peel this rubber back. You can peel the rubber back and notice if there's any leaking fluid. As you can see, I got fluid actually here. Wow, shit, I didn't expect that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and swap that in here as well. Look into this more because I didn't do this last time. I didn't notice any leaking fluid, so I'm definitely gonna have to replace these. Hopefully this is the issue for my brakes. If it's not, like I said, I'm gonna have to change those rear axle seals. Let me show you which ones I'm talking about. So these are the seals that I'm talking about. You're gonna have to take this rear axle, I forget what you call it, but this whole piece slides out. Once this thing slides out, there's gonna be a seal right there behind this. There's gonna be a seal right there, which is this one. So it's normally that this tends to fail. If this ain't it, like I said, it's usually gonna be this, your culprit, this whole piece right here. This is a lot simpler to fix. versus this, because you're gonna have to, like I said, drop all the fluid down there, remove a pin or two with the rear diff so you can slide this thing out. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next step. All right, y'all, so I went ahead and tested my truck since I got it jacked off the floor from the back. I turned on the truck and I pressed on the brakes, and it looks like it's leaking from here, guys, from this brake booster or wheel cylinder. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is replace this wheel cylinder, and I'm gonna take off all these brakes just so I can get everything nice and cleaned up, buy a new wheel cylinder, replace it, put everything back together, and drive it around and see if it's still leaking, because I'd rather replace this than to break all those bolts and drop the rear diff fluid and all that shit. Then I'd rather do that than do all that other shit. So yeah, what I'm gonna do first is take off this spring right here. All right, so the spring and the bolt is out, like so. All right, so I got this part of the brake off. I got this little wheel adjuster lever, whatever it's called, off. What you want to do is just get your pry bar and just pry this to get out of that hole. And I did that to this one. So at this point, the brakes should just kind of come off. All right, so I got just about everything out. It's gonna look like this. This I'm just leaving hanging. I'm gonna clean all of this from where it's at. Clean all this, right? And then I'll go ahead and to swapping this. Get this all nice and cleaned up. All right, so I got me a new wheel cylinder. Here's the part number. This is going to be varied based on your GVWR, whatever it's called, how much you can pull, or the rating, sorry. I think mine's a 7,000 pound, so I'm gonna go ahead and swap this out. I did clean all the inside right there where my fingers, right here, just to make sure that that seal isn't leaking. I cleaned it up and everything looks fine as of right now. So just grab your pick, something like this, and just stuff it in there. You know what I'm saying? And clean all that. I'm gonna clean everything a little bit better and then start changing this. And hopefully, like I said, this is the only concern that's leaking, because it's only 2 bolts back here. Only 2 simple bolts, and then it comes off pretty easy. So let's get to it. Go ahead and get you a 13 mil to break off this back here. Break it like so. But before I do this, I'm gonna go ahead and put pressure on the brakes in the front. So let me go ahead and find like a bar or something that I can stick in there so it can hold the pressure. So just find whatever you can find and put it like this. You want to hold pressure on your brakes, because that way it doesn't let any air or pressure escape, right? Or air come into the system. So let's go ahead and continue. Also, since you put that in there, your lights are going to be on for your brakes. So best thing to do is to disconnect the battery as well. All right, so let's disconnect the battery. Just get you an 8 mil. Let's continue to break this. All right, so now that's broken, as you can see. Let's go ahead and break these 2 little bolts right here. These are going to be an E8, this one, and the one to the other side. So like I said, I went to O'Reilly's and I had to buy this kit right here. It's an E8, EP8. One hand. Easy does it. Try not to strip them. All right, now once you got those 2 bolts off, they'll look like this. Like I said, they're E8s, 2 of them. It'll look like so in the back. And just go ahead and break it off like so. And this is how it's gonna look. So let's get this new one and transfer this bleed valve to the other one. And clean this all up as well. All right, so the new one comes with the bleeder valve, so you're good there. You don't gotta swap it over from the old one. Here's a comparison. This one should be a good fit, so let's go ahead and put it on. All right, so now the new one's installed. Just make sure you put everything back the way you took it off. So it looks like that. I just hand tightened it. Just make it snug, don't over tighten it. You'll feel it when it starts to bottom out. Just give it a little extra and you'll be good. Don't break nothing. But yeah, let me go and start putting everything back and hopefully this is the fix. When you're putting all this back, these are mating surfaces right here. So go ahead and put whatever kind of silicone you got. I'm using this because this is all I got. And it's up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, so it should withstand. Just put it right there, 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 right there, there, and there. So when you put all these brakes back, that's a mating surface and you don't want any friction to happen because it can make noises. All right, I went ahead and put the brakes on. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Make sure you do this one first. It's gonna look like this. Goes in there, and this is one of the grease points that I told you about. And there's a couple more here, back here. There's the other grease point right there, so make sure you grease it. But yeah, this is how it looks so far. Let me get back to putting this right here and a couple other stuff that my little boy has over here. Next, go ahead and break this apart. Put some grease. Put some high temp grease and clean it up. Or lube that up right there, and then we're gonna put that in here. Once you put it back together, it's gonna look like this. All right, and make sure you put some high temp grease on these threads right here. Make sure that looks like this. And the fat part goes to the back like so. All right, now I got everything put back like so. I'll put a video of this gentleman that I used his video to put all this back together. I'll link it down below, but this is what it's gonna look like. This piece right here is gonna detain this little section from when you adjust it going up. It won't be able to back itself back down. As you can see right there, the teeth, this little thing is holding onto the teeth right there. So yeah, once you've gone to this point, you're gonna test fit this on here. And if you need to make adjustments, you make adjustments right here. Just pick this up like so. And just, it's kind of hard for me to do with one hand, but just put this back on. You put it on, and you kind of twist it as you go. So like right there, you just twist it. And once you feel like it's nice and snug, you don't want it scraping too much, because as you're driving, it is going to be scraping in there. So you're going to have hardly any, like just a little bit of friction. But like I said, I'll post a video of the other guy that helped me out on how to do this. Once you're done, you're going to want to go ahead and bleed your brake, because you just had installed a cylinder. So you're going to have to take the air out. I'm show you how to do it by yourself. So you just come, make sure you put your battery, your connection back on. So yeah, you got your power back. Move that. So I'm using this by myself, right? So just go ahead and press, move the seat back. This will fall. Give it like 3 good pumps. 1, 2, 3. You want to hold it there, and then put this where it's gonna hold, and then move your seat forward so you can keep pressure on this, right? Now you come back over here, brake should be engaged, so this is not gonna turn, right? Now just come back here and bleed, open the valve, lefty loosey. As you can see, you can hear the brakes. So there's no bubbles. I already done this about 2 times, so this is the 3rd time I'm doing it. Just go ahead and tighten it up. Tie bevel up and just clean everything back here. Clean all the mess and you're good to go.